Hey, book lovers, welcome to While I Read. I'm Katie, and today I'm going to tell you about books that I'm excited to read in August. I've got several thrillers and some cozy mysteries to tell you about. Some of these books are from authors that I've read before, some of them are part of series, some of them are from authors who I've never read any books by before, and I just think they look good. So let's go ahead and get started. The first book that I'll tell you about is Kiss Her Goodbye by Lisa Gardner. This is book number 4 in the Frankie Elkin series. I love the Frankie Elkin series. I've read all of the other books in that series. Frankie Elkin is a great character. She is a recovering alcoholic who is a volunteer who is really good at finding people. So she goes to places where there are missing people. Sometimes the police ask her to help, sometimes the families ask her to help. And she is just really good at kind of looking in places that others might not think about. She's just very good at finding people. So in this fourth book, she goes to Tucson, Arizona. She is searching for a missing woman named Sabera. Sabera is an Afghan refugee. She has a husband who is kind of older, kind of domineering, maybe a little suspect. And then she's also got a 3-year-old daughter. So some people try to say that Sabera, just left. She just walked away from her family. But those who know her well say there's no way that she would have left her 3-year-old daughter. Then Frankie discovers that Sabera may have some kind of connection to a murder that took place. I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I have an arc of the book that I need to get to. I know it will be good because Frankie Elkin is a great character. Another thriller that I'm excited to read this month is Forget Me Not by Stacey Willingham. I read A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham a while back, and it was really good. She is a University of Georgia graduate, so right here in Georgia, so I always like to support my Georgia girls. So this book is about a woman named Claire Campbell. 22 years ago, her older sister Natalie vanished on her 18th birthday, or right around her 18th birthday. Her blood was found in this man's car, and the man was arrested. And so Claire moved away from her hometown. I think it's in North Carolina, maybe South Carolina. Anyway, one of those Southern Carolina states. And so she moved away. She became an investigative journalist. She tried to forget her traumatic past. But then this summer, she is called back to her hometown and she has to help her family out with something. And so she's there for the whole summer, and she ends up taking a job at Galloway Farms, which is a muscadine vineyard, which apparently was something special in her sister's life years ago as well. I don't know if her sister worked there or what, but her sister had been happy there. So Claire is working there just kind of on a whim, but then she finds this old diary at Galloway Farms and starts looking at it, and it seems to have some details in it about crimes that were committed. And then Claire starts wondering if it has some connection to her sister's death. So I love the, unsolved mystery aspect. I really like the southern setting, the summertime on the muscadine farm. So this sounds like a really good book for August. The next book that I'm excited to read in August is a thriller called The Locked Ward by Sarah Pekkanen. So I read The Golden Couple by Sarah Pekkanen and Greer Hendricks. Usually they collaborate on books. I've never read anything by Sarah Pekkanen on her own, but this sounds really good. So apparently it revolves around the perspectives of two sisters, twin sisters. One of them is Georgia Cartwright, and she is famous, or kind of infamous, for what's called the crime of the decade. She was arrested for murdering her sister. So Georgia was actually adopted into the Cartwright family. and they raised her, from a newborn. And then for some reason, she murdered her adopted sister. So she is in a psych ward. So then we also have another woman named Amanda. And Amanda finds out that Georgia Cartwright, who she's heard of but has never met, is actually her biological twin sister that she never knew about. So Amanda goes and visits Georgia in her hospital ward, and all Georgia will say is, I didn't do it. And she's asking Amanda to help her prove that she didn't do it. So Amanda starts looking into things and finding out all kinds of secrets about this very powerful Southern family, the Cartwright family. This sounds like a good book. I know that The Golden Couple was really twisty and I couldn't put it down while I was reading it. So I'm looking forward to giving this one a try. The last book in the thriller category that I'm excited about is One Dark Night by Hannah Rochelle. I've never read anything by Hannah Rochelle, but this book sounds good, so I'm going to give it a try. It is set on Halloween. This group of teenagers goes to, and it's set in a British community. This group of teenagers goes to this place that's known with like urban legends because apparently a teenager, a young girl, was murdered there. So they go there on Halloween night, and by the end of the night, one student is dead. So it's apparently told in multiple perspectives. A woman named Rachel is the school guidance counselor. So, of course, she's working with the students in the aftermath of what happened. She has a teenage daughter named Ellie, and she's trying to keep a handle on Ellie. Meanwhile, her ex-husband, Ben, is worried about his daughter, Ellie. He's, I guess, investigating this crime. I think he's a policeman, detective, something like that. And then we also have Ellie, the teenage daughter, who is keeping a secret about where she was the night that this happened. So it sounds really twisty. I like the fall setting. Around this time of year, even though we still have a lot of hot summer days left here in Georgia, I start getting ready for fall. So reading a book that's set around Halloween sounds really good to me. Moving on to cozy mysteries that I'm excited to read this month, I want to tell you about Laying Down the Latte by Ellie Alexander. This is book number 21 in her Bake Shop mystery series. I am only on, I think, book 5 in that series, so I guess I have to wait to read this one, but it sounds so good. So the Bake Shop series is set in the town of Ashland, Oregon, but in this one, our baker that we love, Jules, is leaving Ashland for a vacation in Costa Rica. She and Carlos and Andy from Tort are going to Costa Rica to visit one of Carlos's former colleagues. She has an organic coffee farm there in Costa Rica. So they're there and they're loving it in Costa Rica. They're having a great time. They're learning a lot at the coffee farm. But then one of the employees at the coffee farm is caught in the pulping machine and killed. So Jules ends up having to solve a mystery, as she does all the time in Ashland, Oregon. This book just sounds so good, so summery. I heard Ellie Alexander talking about the research she did for this book, where she actually went to Costa Rica. So I just really want to read this. I may have to get out of order in that series a little so I can skip ahead to this book. Another cozy mystery that I'm excited about is Murder at Last Chance Cove by Kim Griswold. This book is about a writer named Safi who is driving an RV, and she ends up on the Oregon coast, and she's planning to stay at this RV park for the summer to finish up her latest book. Her husband died 3 years ago. She's still getting used to life on her own. If y'all have been watching this channel for a while, you know that I suffered some grief recently when my dad passed away. So I find myself drawn to books where characters are grieving a little bit. I just have been finding myself identifying with those characters. I also always like books that have writers as the main characters. So Safi is staying in this small town, this RV park, And then the manager of the RV park is murdered. So Safi has to start trying to solve the murder. She apparently meets some of the others who are staying in the park, some of the townspeople. There are lots of quirky characters, maybe a hint of romance. This sounds like a fun, cozy mystery. Next, I'm excited to read Whispering Pines Unsolved by Brittany E. Brenniger. This is a Southern sass cozy mystery. So it's about a mother daughter duo who are traveling around in an Airstream trailer, and they have started this podcast together. So the mom is an ex CIA agent. I'm not sure exactly what the daughter's former profession was, but they've apparently both had kind of a difficult time. And so they've decided to start this podcast together where they travel around and they investigate unsolved crimes. They also have a golden doodle who's traveling with them. So their first stop is at a small town in Virginia where there is an unsolved mystery. So this is the first in a new series. I love the Southern sass aspect of it. I love the traveling around, the mom and daughter working together to solve these mysteries. So sounds like it would be really fun to read. The last cozy mystery that I want to tell you about is Death at an Irish Village by Ellie Brannigan. This is book number 3 in the Irish Castle mysteries by this author. And I haven't read the first 2 books in this series, but this one sounds really good. So it's about a woman named Rain. She and her cousin Ciara have inherited this castle in a small Irish village. And so they're setting it up as a wedding venue. But as they're planning a wedding there, a body is discovered in the cemetery. It is a dead body, but it is not buried, and no one knows what happened. But of course, there's a murder mystery. So Rain and Ciara have to work with the villagers, somewhat eccentric villagers in this small Irish village to figure out who this body is, who murdered this person, and to, of course, get prepared for the upcoming wedding. So I love Ireland. I've never been, but I want to go one day, and I definitely want to try out this series. So that's it for the books that I'm excited about in August. What books are you excited about? Any of these books that I've mentioned, or are there some that I did not mention that I need to know about? Please tell me so that I can add them to my TBR pile. Thanks for watching. If you like book reviews and recommendations, please subscribe to my channel. Now, go get caught in the rain while I read.